podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Hylan. My friends and I participated in an arcane ritual for a Baelor. In return, he told us where we can find some Titan's blood and finally repay our debt to the Tao who helped save Renascence. We're headed for a place called the Mirror of Mephistar.
Hylan, Lily is sort of pawing at your backpack.
Oh, okay.
She's sort of pawing at your backpack and then looking at you.
I might have a treat left. Hold on. I'll open my backpack.
Open your backpack. There's all your gear, your assorted accoutrement and equipment. But there's something in there that you don't remember putting in there or ever finding. It sits sort of the back of your backpack towards the bottom.
Okay, I feel something strange and I pull it out.
Your fingers wrap around something cold and metallic, and you pull it slowly out of your backpack. And as it rises out of your backpack, Lily sort of purrs and softly meows at you with an excited, you would almost say joyous look on her face as her wings begin to flap a little bit. Meow, meow.
Oh, okay.
You pull it out and you see that it is a sheathed dagger. It's just absolutely exquisite. The sheath is made of a soft, supple, gray-green leather. The hilt is perfectly balanced and rightly sized for your hand. You see that golden wreaths languidly wind around the hilt, which is inlaid with stones, green and blue. And you see that on the side of the hilt, the crossguard, there are dragon skull carvings of a fine silver platinum.
Lily, where did this come from? This is beautiful.
She just puts a paw on your leg and goes, meow.
Wow. How did I not see this before? Renascence.
Yeah.
Everyone come here for a second.
What is it?
Everyone look at this. This just appeared in my backpack. Lily knew it was in there. This could be put here to fool me, and I don't know. It's so beautiful.
Give me 10 minutes, and Ofelia casts Identify.
You take this dagger and close your eyes and begin to concentrate on your Identify ritual. Your mind is flooded with a scene of a golden cloudscape flecked with silver light, and through the sky, you just see nothing but beautiful winged creatures that you can immediately discern are dragons. Some are gold, some are silver, some are bronze, and they swoop through the air, doing sort of loop-de-loops around each other. This is a dagger called Awakened Dragon's Wrath Dagger.
Yes. I like all of those words, singly and put together.
Whenever you roll a 20 on your attack roll, each creature of your choice within 5 feet of the target will take 5 damage, 5 radiant damage. +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls, and on a hit, it will do 2d6 radiant damage. As an action, you can unleash a 30-foot cone of energy from the weapon, in this case being a radiant breath weapon from Bahamut. Each creature in that area must make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw, taking 8d6 radiant damage of the type dealt by Granddad Bahamut. In this case, that's radiant damage. But once this action is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. Seeing that you are overjoyed by this, Lily sort of hops up onto your leg and then climbs up onto your back and sort of nuzzles into your neck.
Yes, that's even better than the dagger. I just say a prayer to Bahamut of thanks and gratitude. Wow, I just reverently hold it. I can't believe this appeared. And I carefully put it in my pocket and I pet Lily.
Should we all check our packs now? Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, Corbin will look in the bottom of his pack. Anything?
No Christmas present for you.
I got nothing.
Well, I suppose this is sort of a gift for everyone. We could look at it that way.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, so Corbin will get into the driver's seat. Are we ready to go?
Yes.
Yep. All right. and he'll crank up the Rago wagon.
You will in fact have to go across the River Styx. Driving around the pit of Shumrath, you see this titanic, miles wide, miles long, deep pit. You've never actually seen the bottom of it, filled with green ichor. It eventually sort of narrows to a little bit of a crack, really, in the surface of Avernus, which then floods back into the river. So there seems to be some connection, small as it may be, between the pit of Shumrath and the river. But eventually, you do see where this trail leads you. Underneath a dark red sky, you do in fact see that the Mirror of Mephistar, far in the distance, does seem to be on the opposite side of the River Styx. You know this because you can see a way across it. As you drive along the river, you try to find some kind of a land bridge or some way that you can perhaps find a connection to the opposite side of the river. But instead, far in the distance, you're able to see some sort of conveyance across the river itself. What looks to be a large boat or barge, you're not quite sure from this distance, but it does seem to be ferrying people across the river.
Could it fit a car on it? Is it take an infernal war machine or?
Perhaps not an infernal war machine the size of the one that you have. It may take like a Devil's Ride motorcycle or two, but not a ragawagon.
Oh boy, I really don't want to leave this war machine.
Looking up and down the river, do we see any other ways across, bridges, anything like that?
Been driving for a good portion of the day. You haven't seen anything that either in front of you or behind you that could aid you in getting to the other side of the river, at least not at this point.
Okay. Is there some way we could hide or protect this war machine while we're gone?
I got no magic that could make it smaller or invisible.
On the other side of the Styx, Matt, you said we could see the Mirror of Mephistar?
Yeah, you could probably see it maybe 2-3 miles away once you get to the other side.
And what is it that we're looking at?
It's a cave entrance that seems to be about 50 or 60 feet in height. You see that the side of the mountain that this cave has been carved into looks almost like some kind of a strange bat-like animal with lava pouring out of sizable holes which look to be kind of like eyes almost.
Even my alarm will walk too far away from the ragawagon for me to be able to sense it if it's disturbed. It only works out to a mile.
I have a magic spell I could try. We'll put I don't know the word, like a guardian here that can protect the wagon if anybody hostile, which would be anybody other than us, comes near it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty ideal, Corbin.
Worth a shot.
But it doesn't last forever. Just, I got up like 8 hours.
Well, I think that's the best bet we've got.
Yeah.
It has so much energy, and once the energy's gone, it will just dissipate. But I could try that.
Thank you. I mean, at least maybe it would deter somebody.
I think that's the best option we've got.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's just a huge spectral guardian that will hover above this space. It doesn't move. Yeah. That's the only bad thing. It just moves. And anything that gets within 10 feet of it has to make a dexterity saving throw or get smacked with radiant damage. So
that's the radius of your
still
car.
Pretty cool, though.
Yeah, you put it right on top of the ragawagon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Once I cast it, we got 8 hours, so it's like 4 hours there and 4 hours back. Should we try to get across the river first, or should we try to hide the car first?
And we've established that ferry's not taking it. It's too big. So I think we should leave it here on the shore with Corbin's guardian and then see if we can... Well, I'll tell you what. Let's check out this ferry first, shall we, to see if that's even going to work for us?
That's true.
Because if it's not, then no reason to burn the spell because we ain't leaving the car here.
Yep.
All right, so let's try that first. Maybe we should walk there. I don't know if I want them to see the car.
What's between us and them, Matt?
A rise of a hill and the average hellish terrain. Fingernails, bones, wailing and moaning of the damned.
Mm-hmm.
Do they seem to be reacting to us at all? Like, is there any sign that they've seen us?
The individuals on this barge, on this boat, do not seem to be interested. They're not shooting, they're not screaming, they're not pointing. They are standing in a clump. There is a figure as it gets close to your side of the shore. This figure has an enormous oar that it is using to propel the barge, which is amazing considering that although the barge isn't a large floating device, it's certainly large enough that if a single person could push this barge across the Styx, he would have to be amazingly strong.
So it's not a large barge.
The barge is not large.
Tell him large barge sent you.
How far a walk from our current position to the ferry?
10-minute walk.
Feels a little far to leave the car here, but up to you, Corbin.
Why don't you put your alarm around it? Or I could just stay with the car, and if anybody comes, I'll just run them over. I don't mind.
I don't know that we should part ways.
Maybe let's get to within like 100 feet of it.
Well, Corbin doesn't want to show them the car, is the issue.
Oh, right. So, yeah, maybe alarm is a good idea.
All right. I'll once again pull the silver thread around the ragawagon and cast alarm. This time, I'm going to set it to a mental alarm for myself, not an audible alarm. And I think it's best we stick together, Corbin. I do have the alarm on the ragawagon. Let's just try to conclude negotiation with the ferry folk as quickly as possible, and then we'll know if the ragawagon's staying here or not.
Before we go, though, I'm going to take all the soul coins and Ica.
Yeah, take everything. All right, Matt. So once the alarm spell is up, we're going to proceed down to the riverbank together.
It's at this point that you are able to make out much clearer the, shall we say, captain of this particular vessel. This is a gaunt-robed figure with corded muscles, or at least the remnants of them, in its arms and shoulders, with eyeballs staring out from black sockets. One of the other things that you note is that the pole that this creature is using to guide this boat across the River Styx, the top of it is actually on fire. Of course. Go ahead and make Arcana checks. Religion, you can do a religion check.
Ofelia rolled a 9 in Arcana. Crit fail for her.
5 for Renascence.
So that's a 10.
Corbin rolled a 10 in religion as the cleric.
Oh, we're really... Ooh.
The bare bones of it is that you know at least the names of these creatures. They're called Merenoloths, basically fiendish ferrymen.
I step up to the riverbank and I silently raise my arm to hail the ferryman.
The Merenoloth creaks its head towards you, and you hear the tendons and bones snapping as it gazes in your direction. It does not utter a single word.
I point across to the far side where the mirror cave is.
It reaches out its hand and splays out its fingers, palm up.
Go on, Corbin, you know what it wants.
Corbin holds up one of the soul coins from the car. Do its eyes flit to it?
Its eyes definitely do.
And I point at it, and then I point at all of us and make like a circle, like all of us. I emphasize the coin again, meaning one coin for all of us.
It looks at you, Corbin, and then at Renascence, and then Hylan, and then Ofelia, and then Lulu, as if counting the 5 of you. And then looks at the coin, opens up its hand to splay out all 5 of its fingers.
Oh, boy.
As in, it's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Matt, how far is the river to get across?
The river is about 150 feet wide.
Okay.
I can fly.
I can fly across too, and so can Lulu.
I can't fly.
I could carry you, Ofelia.
I think we figured out that Corbin can carry both of us last time we did this. You know, when we didn't parachute.
Right. Okay, then I guess you could come back for me if we want to save my wings. When I use my wings, they have an extra battle benefit.
Yeah, I just don't know if Corbin's
damage. No.
thing's gonna.
Last that long?
Yeah. To fly back and forth.
Let me see.
I gotcha.
It's steps of night. It lasts a minute, and I can go 30 feet, 60 feet every 6 seconds.
Oh, it is gonna work. Corbin could just ferry us across.
Are you okay with that, Corbin?
I don't mind. It makes me nervous. I don't know how things work down here, but I could just take us across.
Not right in front of him, you know? In case he resents it.
Is there any reason one of you wants to ride in that boat?
No, not at all.
I would agree with that statement.
I just think maybe we drive a little bit downriver, just so it seems rude to do it, you know. It's like...
Well, you're putting me out of a job here.
Yeah, come on, put him out of a job, yeah.
My only other concern is...
It's like bringing your own food to a restaurant, you know?
My only concern is, could there be a rule about the river itself?
Flown over it before.
Yep, we did when we left.
Of course we have.
El Terrell, we flew over.
Then we should be able to... Yes, I would agree then.
Right. So I say we go back to the ragawagon, drive it, you know, maybe another mile east, just so it's not rubbing it in his face, and then cast your guardian, and then we fly across. Thank you, sir. It's a bit steep, to be honest, so we'll be staying on our side of the river today.
His hands curl back into clawed fists, and he turns around and walks back to the ferry.
All right, we go back to the ragwagon.
Once everyone's in, Corbin will crank over the engine. And how are we doing on gas?
You guys got about like an eighth of a tank?
No, this might be the last mile.
Perfect. We'll leave it empty for them.
The emptier, the better, yeah, because good luck stealing it.
Exactly. All right. So Corbin will drive off, trying to avoid this guy a little bit.
Try to get the tank empty.
Right, I was just going to say, if there's a little bit left, Corbin's going to try to do some donuts.
Oh, God. Yeah, if you want to run out the tank, that's totally cool. No worries there. The engine begins to slow down, and the engine ends its life on that particular coin.
In a good spot, like if there's a hill or rocks or something.
Yeah, there's something close to it. Yeah.
Just give me a minute, and Corbin is going to cast his spell, Guardian of Faith. So a huge spectral guardian is going to appear over the ragawagon, and it's going to look like a poor, wretched soul that's just leaning over. It's supposed to have a sword, but I don't really think it has a sword. I think it has a silvery hand that will just smack whoever comes by, in a silvery shield with Ilmater's symbol on it. And it's going to stand over the ragawagon. Even though it looks poor and wretched, it's pretty obvious this thing will fuck you up if you come by it.
Awesome.
All right, let's go.
Right, we walk down to the riverbank here. Just take a quick scan around, see if anything is watching us, hiding nearby.
Perception check.
Corbin will do this.
Same.
Corbin rolled a 14.
Renaissance with a 12.
Hylan got an 11.
None of you see anything.
All right, now we should think about this. Corbin.
Right.
Maybe take me across first, because one of us is going to be over there alone for a bit.
I could take two people. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But you don't want to leave one of them behind alone, so...
Maybe you and Lulu. I'll take you, and Lulu will come, and then I'll come back for the other two.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. So Corbin is going to say, Ilmater, help us. Going to use his special feature, Steps of Night. He will float up in the air on like a spectral hand. He'll grab Ren, and he'll go, Lulu, come on.
I'm coming.
All right. Keep an eye out, all right?
All right. And she looks down towards the river, and she's, that's disgusting.
Don't go near that. Just stay out of reach of that.
All right. She flies up about 30 or 40 feet.
Up we go, and across. Look for a nice safe place. Drop Ren. I don't want to be in striking distance of something in the water, like...
Sure, so how far up?
Let's say 30 feet up.
You look down towards the river, and you can see undulations, movement. I'm not quite sure what is living in there, if anything. But you do remember stories of how the demons of the abyss arrive here in Avernus. That they actually utilize the River Styx itself to be birthed onto the plains of Avernus in overwhelming tides. And you get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the waves and billows in the water beneath you just might be some kind of demonic force.
Let's do this as fast as possible. Don't like it.
You do land on the other side safely. Lulu lands on that side as well.
All right, going back for the others. Be right back. And Corbin will zip back across, grab the other two, and make the same journey.
The three of you then pass over the Styx in the same manner. By now, you're sort of wary of the things in the river itself. Maybe you spot spikes or fins just under the surface of the water.
Whatever those are, Corbin's going to try to avoid them as best he can.
Now that I'm on the other side, Matt, I'm just going to ready to action the Eldritch Blast, which has got quite a long range. It's 120-foot range. If I see anything come up out of the sticks towards them, I fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at it.
Lulu looks at you, and she says, "What are you doing?"
Just watching and waiting. See, oh, you mean what am I doing with my hands?
Yeah, your hands.
It's something I picked up, new trick in my bag of tricks. I used it against them devils, that devil gang, that Luxori and their friends.
Yeah, that was something. She sort of gives you a side eye.
Reckon you noticed I also can't do some of the stuff I used to do.
I didn't want to say it out loud. It would have been kind of rude, but everything okay?
You can't tell them, Lulu, but I made a deal.
You what?
I made a deal. I thump my shield, you know.
You made a deal with...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He tricked me. But don't worry, I got a few ideas as... Well, I can't talk about it in front of him, you know? But, just chin up, Lulu. Fact is that, I sort of promised Gargs that I'd help him find a way out of this. I thumped my fingers on the shield. And there was some unexpected side effects. I turned my attention back towards the river, one of which is this, new trick I picked up. But if you'll excuse me, I just gotta concentrate on it in case anything happens.
Lulu grows very quiet. She turns her back and starts to look to the other side of the river.
Hi everybody, the show will be back shortly for the second half. Have you had a chance to check out our other ongoing actual play series, To Slay a Dragon, presented by Cast Party and EN Publishing? You can catch the first 5 episodes right here in this feed. We'd love to know what you think. Thanks so much to all of you who helped make Attack on Copper Coil become a gold bestseller on Dungeon Masters Guild. As a result, this adventure will form the second part of a new Cast Party actual play podcast series, together with Secrets of the Blind Palace. The series will premiere in October 2024 right here in this feed. I will be the Dungeon Master for that series, and we've been announcing the players each week on Cast Party's social media channels. The first player announced was actor, cosplayer, and costume designer Amber Heck, who is currently guest starring on Podcast Party To Slay a Dragon, which is another great reason to listen to that show. This summer, Cast Party returns to the Good Witch in Hastings-on-Hudson, New York, on Saturday, July 13. Join us for an evening of dragon slaying, dungeon delving, treasure hunting adventure. Our professional dungeon masters will lead your party through a tabletop adventure. No previous Dungeons & Dragons experience is necessary. Your admission includes a 3-hour Dungeons & Dragons experience with a professional dungeon master, a delicious drink and snack courtesy of the Good Witch, plus a few surprises. The Good Witch is located just a short train ride from New York City in historic Hastings-on-Hudson Station on the Metro North Hudson line. If you're planning to attend with a group, we'll make sure you're seated with friends and family. If you're a new player or attending alone, we'll make sure you're at a table to suit your experience level. Tickets are on sale now at cast-party.com. Cast Party's professional dungeon masters are available to hire for online games. We have games for kids as well as adults, and our DMs can run almost any of the official Dungeons & Dragons adventures, as well as third-party adventures, and even some we've created ourselves. Details at cast-party.com. Do you ever feel like you have a great visual picture in your head, but you need a little help putting it into words? Well, with a subscription to dScryb, you can access thousands of descriptions of monsters, spells, locations, and more, as well as maps, music, and sound effects to enhance your games. Only at dScryb.com. That's DSCRYB.com. Would you like 10% off that subscription? Follow the link in the show notes and use the discount code CASTPARTY, all one word, all caps, to save 10% on your first subscription. Check us out at cast-party.com. Follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, on Instagram at cast_party, on TikTok at cast_party, or on Threads at cast_party. As always, we're offering monthly free adventures with our Dungeon Masters. These free games fill up quickly, so if you'd like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. Thanks very much for listening, and now back to our adventure in Avernus.
Corbin, you grab Hylan and Ofelia and fly across, obviously being quite wary of whatever lurks in the dark waters below you, and land on the other side, again, safely.
I don't like flying over that river.
I understand, Corbin. I don't either.
Let's get away from it.
Okay.
What do you think is in the water?
Nothing good.
I think it's demons coming here to fight the devils. I don't know.
I think it's better we don't know.
I agree.
So you guys are about a couple miles to the mirror?
Yep.
From the other side. Walking there, I'm going to ask you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Everybody stay pretty close to me on this walk, and you'll all get a +3 on that.
Great. Oh, thank God.
That's a 13 Constitution save for Ofelia.
Hylan has a 21.
Renascence with a 10.
Corbin with a 16.
It takes about half an hour to walk from the river to the Mirror of Mephistar's cave. Unfortunately, it does look like Renascence and Ofelia still fail.
So we take a level of exhaustion?
That is correct. So yeah, for Ofelia and for Renascence, the trek is not a pleasant one. The wind and sand goes in places where it ought not to, and the heat is oppressive. You find that you're just heaving with breath by the time you get to the cave.
Okay, as I see that they're struggling, I'm just gonna try to help in some way, and I'm gonna use prestidigitation to cool off their clothes. I just want to make sure before we get to this place, as we're walking, I would just want us to maybe pool resources and information about Mephistopheles, so we don't just walk in there without having discussed it.
Yeah, you could make religion checks if you'd like to know more about Mephistopheles.
Ooh, Corbin rolled a 17.
Disadvantage, Renascence has a 4.
Ophelia rolled a 17.
Oh, that's still pretty good. Thank goodness, because I only rolled an 11.
Mephistopheles, like all the other archdevils, is the ruler of one of the 9 levels of hell. In this case, the ruler of a frozen wasteland known as Cania. Technically speaking, Mephistopheles has taken second in command next to the big man himself, Asmodeus. Also with the 17, you know that there are legends that wizards who achieve greatness in evil magics do so specifically with the guidance of the archdevil Mephistopheles, that he is a creature born of arcane secrets and magical instinct, and sort of embodies hell's evil in that regard. The cave invites you.
I bet it does.
Looking in the cave, is it dark?
Okay, no, it's a cave. It's dark.
I have a real reason to ask. All right, before we go in, you know I can see in the dark really well.
Yes.
And now the rest of you can as well. Your motto, let them see, guide them through the darkness. Everyone has dark vision out to 300 feet.
Yes.
Ooh.
Jeez.
I remember this one.
Eyes of Night. It lasts an hour.
Cool.
And that includes Lulu.
With that newly added ability, the 5 of you are able now to see inside this cave. The walls of this cave, strangely enough, are not blackened by soot or heat. You see that the ground itself is not sort of a detritus of sand and rock, but actually has ice crystals and icicles hanging from the ceiling. And as you stand before the cave, you can feel that the heat, the oppressive heat of Avernus, is actually being batted away by an intense cold that's coming from inside this cave. It's like when you are inside on a hot day and you walk outside to negative 45 degrees. It's painful.
Ophelia is starting to get a little grumpy between the exhaustion and this. She's not her usual optimistic self right now.
Yeah, come on, Ofelia.
Lulu flies over to Ophelia and noticing your aura has turned kind of dark, puts her trunk on your shoulder. You all right?
Well, not really.
Come on, chin up.
Hang in there, Ophelia. Corbin, Hylan, I think you might have to take the lead on this one. We're a bit peaked.
All right, we're sneakier right now. You two look offense kind of like shit, so stay back a bit.
Well, that's all right. I feel kind of like shit, so...
Well, you don't look it, darling. You look fantastic.
Thank you, Lou.
Not that looks are, everything. It's all about what's inside.
Well, inside I feel like I'm dying right now, so...
It takes a lot to bring me down, but it's cool.
Oh, I'm
Let's
sorry,
be
Lulu.
quiet. Let's sneak in.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, Lulu, you keep an eye on them, all right? I need you to do that. Thanks.
You got it. Going into this cave, you see that the tunnel carved into this mountainside is coated with rime and frost. About 200 or so odd feet in, there is a precipitous drop. Beyond that, something that seems to be glowing with blue light.
All right, should we go in?
Do you two want to sneak ahead a bit?
Yeah, give us I
Yeah.
don't know, 30 feet or so.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Ophelia and I will linger back with Lulu to let them scout ahead.
Corbin's going to cast guidance on himself. Ben, can you give her guidance from your
Yeah,
mortar?
can you give me guidance?
It ain't working. I'm too tired.
You know what? It's fine. I can do it.
Maybe Lily can help too.
Yeah. Yeah, Lily's always with me, so yep, she can come. Do we need to roll stealth?
Please, if you'd like to be stealthy.
Okay, I got a 20.
And with guidance, I rolled a 4 for my guidance. Corbin got a 23.
And Lily got a 15.
So Corbin, Hylan, and Lily, you walk further into this cave. You see about 200 feet beyond this drop in a cavern that's about 30 or 40 feet below this precipice, which is coated with rime, snow, and frost. That there is a giant slab of ice in the snowy ground. And through its surface, you see a glacial landscape draped in snow.
Oh, I see.
I don't quite understand.
I think we're gonna have to go to the other level of hell to talk to him.
It's like a window?
Portal. I think it's a
like
portal.
about 20 feet tall.
Well, I still have the telepathy going unless it's been 6 hours. Has it been?
It hasn't.
So I will just use that and explain what we're seeing. I think there's some sort of portal and we're gonna have to go through it to get to him. You're probably safe to come up to where we are. Just try to be a little quiet.
Let's go, Ren. Do you want us to try to stealth roll?
Yes,
why not?
if the two of you are going to go quietly, then yeah.
While they're sneaking up, Corbin is just going to keep an eye on everything around us, make sure. Because we were sneaky, and we could tell we were pretty sneaky. If they make noise, Corbin's going to keep an eye out.
Ophelia rolled a 12 in stealth.
Well, the good news is this isn't going to be any worse than how I usually sneak. And it's a nat 1.
Oof.
Yes.
Man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, clank, 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 clank.
All right, I just, in my head, I'm just like, what are you doing? Shh.
Are you trying to make noise?
No.
Stop it.
I freeze.
I want you to think about what you're doing and then do the opposite.
That's great.
Start walking backwards.
No, this direction, though.
All right. Well, look, all right, I'm here. Here I am. I just walk in. I'm here. Come and get me. You all know I'm here.
Yeah, so you guys can see this mirror about 200 so feet from where you stand now at this drop-off.
So is it across or is it down?
It's down and across. Down 30 feet and over another 200 feet or so.
Well, we got to get down. Are there stairs? Is there any way to climb down?
There are sort of, I guess you call them sort of makeshift stairs in the ice and stone that you could climb down if you wanted to.
Well, that seems as good a way down as any.
I have pythons and a hammer. Didn't we find out that they're called pitons?
Yeah, I didn't want to say
I was
it, but
going to
that's cool.
say, I thought they were,
Yeah. I always thought they were pitons, and then somebody said pythons, and then I thought they were pythons, but then I looked it up and it's pitons.
I-core in one pocket and my pitons in the other.
So, I have a hammer and pitons, so we could use those to rappel down if you want.
All right.
So you hammer the pitons into the ice wall, tie your rope around it. I won't make you roll the athletics checks. It's fine.
Cool.
But you do arrive probably within about, at the bottom, 100, 200 feet from this 20-foot tall mirror of ice.
Hylan, you think we passing through it?
I think so. I mean, if he's an archdevil of another level of hell, there's no reason he would be here. But he would probably want to travel here easily. And this is probably how he does it.
Is there anything else down here, Matt?
Just a cave covered with hoarfrost and snow.
I could ask Lily to go through first.
Sure, we don't want to just go talk to the dragon guy?
Yeah.
All right. Give it one more shot.
You do understand that Tiamat's like something that Hylan's devoted a whole life to fighting, right? It's not just like we're arbitrarily avoiding him.
I understand. I just, took a shot. That's all.
I think sending Lily ahead is a good idea.
Lily, you heard that. You want to check out what's on the other side of that, and we'll be right behind you?
Lily sort of turns towards the mirror, turns towards you, and then slowly moves towards it.
Before she goes in, Corbin goes, "Oh, wait 1 second. I just want to pat your little head and give her guidance on stealth."
Aw.
She purrs.
Are we certain this is a portal? Like, I'm afraid it's just going to walk into a piece of glass and bump its
Well,
head.
she's not running. She's a cat.
Okay, all right.
She'll be
Yeah.
fine.
That will be hysterical, by the way, so just let it happen.
Lily's too smart for that.
You can go ahead and roll stealth for her if you'd like.
Okay, I'm also going to warg into her so I can see what she sees. Oh, that's a 18.
So Lily moves slowly and quietly through the snow and ice towards the mirror. And you see through her eyes, Hylan. As your cat closes with the mirror, you are able to see that the bluish light that emanates from the mirror is actually not sort of a portal at all. In fact, it is a window through the ice into a frozen landscape, desolate, with mountains of crystalline ice, jagged and enormous in the distance. And atop one of these crystalline mountains, you can make out an absolutely massive tower made completely of ice crystals. The first thing I would like you to do is make an Arcana check.
Nice. That's a 21.
You don't know what this place is, but you get the feeling that it is a place of great evil. Instinctively, you think through to Lily's mind and tell her to stop, because you know that this is not a portal. This is a mirror that shows you what Cania is on the other side. But then, when Lily stops and looks into the mirror, you, Hylan, feel that something is looking back at you. Please make an intelligence saving throw.
You do get a +3.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. That's a 22. That's a 25. It's 25, actually.
Fantastic. Amazing. You feel like something's trying to see you and understand who you are through your cat.
But still the door is closed.
Well, this might sound silly.
Yeah.
But perhaps we should try knocking?
I'll say, Lily, it's okay. Hold on a second.
Lily turns towards you.
And I tell everyone, something's trying to see us, but I'm not really surprised by that. It's very dangerous.
If you were able to resist it, Hylan, you should try talking to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to him closer.
You walk straight up to the mirror.
And I say, we mean no disrespect. We're coming in hopes of a meeting with Mephistopheles.
As the words bound off of this place echo through the cavern, you begin to see on the other side of the Mirror of Mephistar a figure approaching, and it walks slowly up to the surface of the mirror. As it comes within about 5 feet of the mirror, you begin to make out its appearance, and you don't recognize it, Hylan, but your compatriots Corbin and Renascence do. You see a man dressed in leathers and furs and wearing a very distinctive lined and furred hat in the make of a 19th century cowboy. Tips his hat in your direction and places his hand on the mirror and sort of motions towards his hand.
Oh, that I should do the same thing.
You said we recognized him?
Yeah, you do recognize him. You recognize him as the High Roller from the Heads Will Roll Casino back at the Wandering Emporium.
Oh my goodness.
I nudged Corbin. That bastard won most of my pinches of dust of dryness.
Hylan, we recognize him. He was at the Wandering Emporium. He's a gambler. Careful.
I look back at them and with a serious expression, I just say 5 days, and I put my hand up against the mirror.
His fingers curl down and grab yours, and you feel them icy and cold. And then in your mind, Hylan, you hear, "Hello there, darling. My name is Rigorath. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Welcome to level 9.
Yes!
Thanks very much for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, with Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Carolyn Fox as Hylan, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Andy Cannistra, as Painbearer Corbin Shiv. This episode was edited by Carolyn Fox and Tal Aviezer. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode of Descent into Avernus.
Is there anyone else on the ferry?
No.